Good afternoon. My name is Emily Schumacher, and I'm here today to present to you some information regarding Amazon.com Incorporation and the issue that I was requested to do some research on, which is their high employee turnover rate. So next slide. Now let's take a look at Amazon.com compared to other organizations. Let's start by comparing it to other similar organizations such as eBay and Target. Now on the slide, you can see some statistics regarding eBay, Amazon, and Target, as well as Eastman Kodak and General Motors Corporation. Now, Amazon, eBay, and Target have pretty similar statistics as far as their median employee age, tenure, and salary, with the exception of Target. Amazon has a median employee age of 32 years old and a tenure rating of 1 year. And they are offering a median salary of $93,200. Now, those statistics are very similar to that of eBay. The only difference is Target has a median salary of $30,600. So on face value, Amazon.com looks to be a pretty attractive company compared to the statistics that we see there, with the exception of the tenure rating. There with the salary of $93,200, that's pretty attractive. And then if we take a look at the other two companies, Eastman Kodak and then General Motors Corporation, they have a median employee tenure rating that is much greater than those three organizations that I just talked about. Eastman Kodak has a median employee tenure rating of 20 years, salary of $77,400, and a median employee age of 50 years old. GM Corporation has median salary of $82,500, tenure rating of 10.3 years, and then a median age of 41 years old. So it's obvious that those two organizations are retaining their employees for a much longer period of time. However, they are adhering to an older generation. Next slide. So just some things to consider when an organization has a high turnover rate with their employees. On face values, for an organization to have a high turnover rate, it kind of puts a stigma on that organization that maybe they don't have trust with their employees aren't loyal to the company, and that might stop potential employees from applying and accepting jobs from Amazon. Some other things to consider, it's also costly. The cost to recruit, filter through applications, interview, hire, and train new employees can add up. And if an organization is going through a lot of employees through a short period of time, that's all money that could be saved if they focused on that issue for other things. And then also something to consider is if there is a vacant position, that puts stress onto other current employees to take up the slack from that vacant position and perform additional duties. So overall, it's pretty costly to have a high turnover rate, but organizations with a high tenure rating, those that are retaining their employees for a longer period of time, they have the ability to invest in their employees, develop them, and give their employees the option and opportunity to grow within the organization and obtain higher positions within the organization too. And that's something that organizations with a high turnover rate miss out on. Next slide. Okay, so let's take a look at the work environment at Amazon.com. So just doing some research on Glassdoor, there are mixed reviews from former employees. Overall, 74% of former employees said that they would recommend the company to a friend. However, there were pretty mixed reviews regarding the comments towards management styles, work atmosphere, and things like that. One of the testimonies was that management isn't always on the same page. They also make frequent changes to things that can confuse people, especially when communication site-wide is missing. Now, that communication aspect and management and leadership is very important to make sure that is on point throughout the organization. However, other comments from the website stated that former employees felt that they put their best quality of work out at Amazon because they were pushed to their limits. So it looks like, depending on where you are and which management style you are working with, as well as which position you work for, can kind of dictate how you feel about the organization. But I think it's important to take a look at those comments and address things that may be a negative aspect and address them very quickly. Next slide. Okay, so it's obvious that Amazon adheres to a younger generation. And obviously, as you know, Amazon offers different programs for students, interns, and veterans. Now, with the unemployment rate being very low, as of 2019, the national average was 4% for the unemployment rate for the United States. And then if we take a look at the veterans unemployment rate, it was 3.7% as of January 2018. So that's pretty low. And that means that potential employees have the option to be selective in which organization they choose to work for. So that's why it's important for an organization to set themselves apart from other organizations and make sure they're offering the best services, the best benefits, opportunities for success, and salary. So Amazon does offer pretty good internships for veterans and also for students who are pursuing a degree. Next slide. So it's important to also take a look at what that younger generation is looking for in an organization. Now, with Amazon implementing intern programs and specific jobs for college graduates, it's important to take a look at what age group they're in. Now, the average individuals graduating with a 4-year degree are typically between the ages of 24 and 29. And with Amazon.com having a median age of 32 years old, it's obvious that they're doing that. Now, that age group, 24 to 29, is very similar to the majority of individuals separating from the military. Next slide. So let's take a look at what younger generations' work values are. Now, just a refresher, on this slide, you'll see the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Now, for that, that just pretty much explains that an individual goes through certain stages and requires certain needs before he or she can get to that next stage. And that first stage is the basic needs: food, water. Second stage is safety, security, and housing. Third stage is a sense of belonging, community involvement, social acceptance. Fourth stage is confidence, so built self-esteem, accomplishment. And then that final stage is self-actualization, so performing at 100%, utilizing your knowledge, skills, and abilities to full potential. And nowadays, individuals within the millennial generation typically don't have to worry too much about their basic needs and safety. Just on average, it seems that those two needs are pretty much taken care of, and it's not too much of a concern as opposed to previous generations. So millennials are more concerned about a sense of belonging, confidence, self-actualization. So that's important for organizations to take a look into and make sure that they are adhering to that workforce, because that's the workforce that's looking for jobs nowadays. Right. Next slide. So also employer benefits and compensation. So Amazon does offer health insurance, retirement plans, vacation, and sick leave to regular full-time employees. And those are things that potential employees are looking for. So it's important for organizations to make sure that they offer the best health insurance, retirement plans, and adequate vacation time and sick leave, because especially individuals within the millennial generation, they are making sure to cover their basic needs, which they already have done, as well as taking time for their personal life. They're looking for that good work-life balance. Next slide. And then with that being said, here's just some statistics regarding the different generations. Baby boomers typically chose the live to work lifestyle. So they would put personal interests aside to make sure that the job got done, to make sure they put in 40 plus hours to get that paycheck. And then Generation Xers chose a more of a work to live lifestyle. They paved the way for work to live. They realized that they wanted to take time to make sure the job got done. However, they wanted to make sure to make time for their personal life too. And then millennials choose both. They want to make sure that wherever they're working, they can get some kind of job satisfaction in completing a job, as well as value. They want to find value in the job that they're performing. And then they want to make time to have for personal interests in their personal life. Next slide. So management styles and leadership. So it's really important for an organization to build and maintain human capital. And that goes along with instilling trust and loyalty within their employees and retaining their employees too. Participative management, so making their employees feel empowered and involved in projects and contributions to the organization. And communication. Communication is a big thing, making sure that messages are sent clearly and that there are open lines of communication between management and employees. Next slide. So here's my call to action. Some things to take a look at based off of my research and just review of former employee testimonies. So set hard work shifts and deadlines for tasks. Some of the testimonies stated that management required them to work after hours and sometimes past the hours of midnight. And the employees were scrutinized for not replying to emails that were sent after hours within a timely manner. Performance appraisals. So performance appraisals are important and can be effective if they are used effectively. So I think it would be good to have official performance appraisals each quarter. And then also to facilitate maybe a bi-weekly or monthly status check. So just sit down with the employee and the supervisor to see how things are going, make sure the employee is on track, and then also to make sure that they have all the tools they need to complete certain jobs. And then also to analyze individuals in management positions. Just to make sure that they have the adequate training on leadership, delegation, empowerment, and also how to get the most out of their employees. Okay, so if you have any questions at all, please do not hesitate to contact me. I appreciate you taking the time to listen to me today, and I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.